Hello, everyone. Let me settle down here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Let's Discuss. So, without further ado, I'm just going to get right into this. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video that went out on a Monday, and it was about downsizing and what you need to have in your mind for downsizing. And today I want to take it a wee bit further because I want to talk about heirlooms. Whether you like them or not, we all have them. And so an heirloom is something, as I see it, that has been given to you, either passed down from a person who's still on the planet or from somebody else. And that heirloom could be, it could be from your grandmother or from your great grandmother or even somebody further back. But all of a sudden, it's in your surrounding areas. And I know from my experience, there's a lot of those heirlooms that meant nothing to me. And I've got two pieces today that I'm going to talk about. Now, when you decide to downsize and you see all these heirlooms, well, you could say to yourself, oh, I need to go to Antiques Roadshow because you never know. I might be able to buy an island. And as much as we all would love to see that happening to ourselves or to somebody else, does it happen? Not very often. So getting down to the nitty gritty of dealing with heirlooms is what I want to talk about today. There are a couple of questions that you should ask yourself, and it'll make the process easier. It's certainly something that I did. So as I mentioned, I'm going to discuss two heirlooms that I have. And then I'm going to show you how I deal with them, the questions that I've asked about these pieces of heirloom. The first one is actually a piece of needlepoint, and I was going to show it to you, but it's just too awkward. But it was from my great grandmother. It's a needlepoint, and from what I understand, it's all been done with thread that's been dyed from insects, squishing the insects, which really is pretty disgusting, especially if you're a vegan. But hey ho, that's what it is. And it is A to Z or A to Z, and it's got her name on it, 1877. It's been framed, and I can remember it in my grandparents' home when I was younger, and then it just happened to come to my parents' home, and now it's with me. The other heirloom is this top hat. It doesn't even fit. Can you see it? I'm not sure. I think it's silk, and goodness knows how old it is. I think it might be my great grandfather's. And so this has been transported through many different homes, through many different states, and it still sits. It doesn't even sit on my head. So those are the two pieces that I wanted to discuss with you, to talk about today. Here's what I have found and how I'm determining what to do with these two pieces of heirlooms. The first thing is, the question to ask yourself, and the question I've asked myself is, do I even like this piece? I like the needlepoint, yes, because I have done that myself and I know the skill that's involved, aside from the fact of the dead insects, but I get that. And so do I like it? Yes. Do I like this hat? Well, it really doesn't mean anything to me. Would I use this hat? Well, the piece of embroidery is on a wall, and I enjoy looking at it because I think of all that's gone into it. Do I enjoy looking at this hat? Not a lot. It just sits there, and it was in a box that I recently found. The next thing is, do you, and in my case, do I like the person or know the person that actually gave us this heirloom or gave me this heirloom? Well, clearly something from somebody who was able to do something in 1877 or wear a top hat. I never knew them. I knew their family and who became my family, but I didn't know them. So that's null and void. However, If you do have heirlooms and you know it's come from your Aunt Sadie, and either you like your Aunt Sadie, well, that might be worth keeping that item, or you loathed your Aunt Sadie, why in the world would you keep that item from your Aunt Sadie who you really didn't really like? So the question is, do you like it? Do you like the person who gave it to you? The other thing is, would you use it? And you know my answers on that one. It's so important to realize that all these heirlooms that you've been given, you might think, oh, well, they're really not taking up that much space. And, well, I'll just keep them. And they'll accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. And the sad part is that you don't enjoy them. If you enjoy them, bring them out. But if you don't, well, pay it on to somebody else, pass it on to somebody else. Don't throw it away. In the case of this top hat, I'm going to try and find a museum or somebody who collects hats and pass it on to them. I think the biggest thing with heirlooms is the memories that you think that you have. And so when you give something away, you don't give away the memory. The memory is always in here. So it's not a matter of saying, oh, well, I didn't like my Aunt Sally, so I'm getting rid of the memory. Sorry, but that memory still stays with you. But the memory of you seeing that plate on the wall in your grandmother's home when you were younger doesn't go away because you still remember it. And I think that's really, really important. So especially when you are downsizing, you have to deal with heirlooms and really put them in their own place, because it can produce too much clutter in your head. And when you have, I understand, when you have too much clutter outside, you have clutter inside, and then you can't think clearly. And that's the whole purpose of changing your lifestyle and living a simple life. It's a matter of clearing everything around you so that you can move forward and downsize or not and deal with your heirlooms. Now let me check. Is there any questions? I don't see any questions. No. That is me. That's a wrap for today. I just thought I would discuss these heirlooms as I deal with this one. I did Google it, but that's it. I wish everyone a good day. Stay well, everyone. I would love your comments on this video. And until we meet again, toodles, everyone.